soldier in Vietnam, but we pray for the soul of all of the soldiers who sacrificed their life in Vietnam. So about 10 minutes later, we will meditate and pray.
O mestre está dizendo que hoje vai ser o dia que nós vamos fazer aquela prece para.
Russia, English line.
Problema, não sei o que é.
You're on the English line.
I'm on English channel.
Ah, é?
You're talking in English.
Estás a falar no coisa inglês?
Não sei, cara. Não sei. Vocês estão me ouvindo em inglês?
Press A. A.
Agora que eu tô.
Não. Deve ser outro programa.
Now, is everyone ready? Is everybody ready? So now I'll give you a few minutes. In Australia, you need to get ready. In Thailand, you get ready. And in Holland, you get ready. Before we start the class, all of us, if you want to practice or you don't want to practice, it's still all right. Now we can practice to merge. So instead of merging to one country or another, or one group or another, even though you don't know Vietnam, so my country is Vietnam, you can merge and send to me. And if you do not know the way to go to Vietnam, my soul will go there. You just follow my soul to come to Vietnam for 5-10 minutes, and we come back here to learn. If we stay, all of us stay over there, then nobody's going to come here to learn. Now in Holland, in Thailand, are we ready?
Ready.
Thailand?
Thailand, there's many Vietnamese who need to get settled in.
Is Thailand ready or not yet?
I have to take off my glasses.
Yes, they are.
So now begin. Now it is finished. Today is the 5th day of the class. You only have today and tomorrow. we may learn less because of the singing and the ceremonies. So I try my best to teach you. I also remind you tomorrow, after we learn, an hour later, and we meditate to try to practice the travel to space. And then after that, we continue with the lecture to help a number of the people with the early flights. And tomorrow is also the last day, and also the day that I will summarize everything, whatever is needed. I will summarize and elaborate for you, or something new of some of the subject I will explain for you, so you have the opportunity to learn. So now, through the question that you have now in Australia, and then Holland, and then Thailand, after the questions, I will teach you the new lesson. And this is the lesson that you are able to help your body if you have the opportunity. The opportunity here, that is between the bodies, about the temperature. As you are waiting to help to revive a body, or to help a body in terms of a dead body, just like when we try to merge to anyone, or if you want to help a soul that a person just died and the body is not used, perhaps we can bring this soul to send to another able body, and those are the loved one in your family. Then you are able to help the soul of that person to borrow another body in order to contribute to help in many aspects, just like me and you and all of us. During this time, each time when you learn higher, as the soul is a high soul that the deities have sent down, and the deities send us here and there in this person or that person to help to improve on the spiritual path. So these are some of the points. Perhaps during this time, or maybe later after the break, I'll teach you the new lessons. If we have the remaining time after the 1 hour break, then I will explain to you about the new lessons. So now with the questions in Australia, you can ask, and then later on Holland.
Buonasera. Sono molto contento di essere di
Good
nuovo
afternoon, Master.
qui con lei e
I'm really
Teresa.
happy to be here with you.
In questi giorni ha
During
spesso
these days,
ripetuto
you often
che dal
said
gennaio 2007
that starting
la
from
sua nuova
January
aria
2007,
I cannot hear because both of them is in my ear.
sorry,
Faster, leave it open. Faster, can we hear you English, please?
yes, I can hear you.
Keep your channel open then. You can translate, please.
Do I have to translate now?
Yes, please.
It is not only God that can send souls to be reincarnated, so I lost part of the
I think
question.
you have to repeat, because I have to echo his and yours.
Because
I really would like, but I lost the question in the meanwhile.
Yeah.
Sorry for the
It's
confusion.
better to let him go on, and then you do it afterwards. It's better.
Okay, I will.
Okay, he's coming back to the front of the class.
Thanks.
Sorry about that.
And then over here, Antonella will do the translation over here.
I'm
Okay, thank you very much.
happy to be here again. During these last days, you often repeated that since January 2007, your new soul is not interested in power any longer, while up to that moment, your previous souls were all interested in power. Can you explain us what you mean by power? Because I really cannot think and believe that you refer to economic power. Second question, you said that we can send the soul of our relatives who are dead in other bodies so that they can continue their spiritual growth. But in whose bodies? And also, is it not that only God can send souls so that they can reincarnate? Is it clear?
Yes.
Thank you.
Now, let me explain to you about power. The power is a power from small to big. The power within the family, out to society, out to the country, out to all the communities. Do not think that the power, that means that you can be the king, the queen, and that's all. No. The most difficult power, that is in the family. All of the wrongdoings that you keep on boasting and you try to conquer and teach others, thinking that you are right, but you are wrong. In your family, in doing so, you are killing them. So you are saying that you love your spouse. Are you loving your wife, or are you condemning her? You say that you love your husband. Do you love your husband? You have to help your husband, and your husband has the power, and you keep on influencing him. And your husband is a shipbuilder, and you are only working as a sewer. But you keep on influencing your husband. So in Vietnamese, there is a saying, the dumb try to teach others. That is the power that I'm referring to. And that is a small form of power. And the power to conquer 5 continents, to conquer one country to another, that is also the power that causes suffering. I'm saying from the small circle, meaning in a family, out to society. You know that you have power. You said that you help a king to help the people. But then if you love the people, truly love the people, then you can help the king with your sincere heart. But for personal interest, some people who take bribe, and then you to you, then you say that they are good. Some people praise you, then you say that they are good. But if they criticize you, then you kill them. So that is a power that caused the trouble to the people, the country. That is happening for the past many million years. That is a power from low to high. That I want to give you a few examples so you can understand. If you do you truly love your husband or not? If you love your husband, you need to support and help your husband. You love your wife, then you have to take care of her, support her. You say that you love your husband, but indirectly or directly you're condemning him. Then you only love the power. You know why? You are loving in your self-interest, your selfishness, in a selfish love. So because of that, we have wars after many millions of years, including the first, the second, the third, and the fourth civilization. And the fifth human race, we are no exception, including Master Dang in here. I tell you the truth. More than 33 years on the spiritual path. My principle in the past, I tell you the truth. I was think of having power in order to revenge. I tell you the truth. I do not hide. Sometimes I sit alone. I think I need to get power to revenge, so that I can bring my students or those who are capable to contribute to help people. But each time I think like that, then there's another thought that interferes with my mind. Yes, no, yes and no. You like and you stop and do. But then at the end, then I decided, no. If I cannot teach, if somebody want to kill me, then I will give up my life, meaning I finished my mission. In this life I cannot do it, then next life. In this body I cannot do it, then the soul, the deity can take me back to come into another body to continue on the journey. I will give up. I do not want to have that struggle anymore. I tell you the truth. When in my mind I think like that, then when I start to teach you the level 19 in January 2007, from that day until now, I do not pay attention about the position, the power, and I also reduce my selfishness. In the past, you know why? People are sick, dying, and I save them when they are alive. They turn around and curse at me. All of you, the UE student, you help them, and then you help them, and they turn around and they give excuse, and then they criticize, and they feel shame. Especially many of those who are critically ill, when you save them, they deny. They say that they do not know Master Dang. The moment you just save them from death, they turn around and retaliate. I'm only a human, so that's why I also feel angry and discouraged and feel sad. But then I clear them. Perhaps because I can clear all of that. That's why the strange soul from far away come into the body of Master Dang, and it stays permanent. Because I have cleared all of this. Therefore, in this level 20, I'm preparing to teach, and I also learn the basics as I have shared with you, and also the details. When you come into this level 20, I teach you in many details. For the past few days and today, I explain further for you about the details through the question from this doctor in Italy. I did not teach, so how can I explain to you? Today 3 person asked, and in Europe 4 person, and in Thailand 3 person question. So I let you have 10 questions. Then I will summarize for you all of the new and the old information. And then I will teach you about how to choose, how to help your family members, how we can do it. But right now I do not teach yet. I promise I will teach you, so don't worry about this. That is on the second part. I will teach you about that. That is a way that I answer the second question from the student in Italy who just asked. So now, second question.
Okay. So, is so better? Okay. Dear Master, dear Dr. Teresa, I thank you so much that I have the opportunity to ask this question, and to thank you for all the gifts I got from you this week. I will do and try my best to practice and to apply all the techniques which I have learned from you. My question is a technical one. In Holland last June, you gave the students of level 18 technique for the landmines. And that was what I'm thinking about. I got a list of countries where landmines are in their countries, and a lot of people suffer of that. Now my question is, what do we have to do now with level 20? And the second problem with that was, for instance, Vietnam is a large country, and I understood from one of the students that there are in the north, in the middle, and in the south landmines. What do I have to do? Do I have to do per area, or can we do the landmine technique for the whole country at once? Thank you for your answer.
Through the question from the student from Holland who come to Australia here to learn, I share with all of you, not just in Vietnam or any country, including the souls of all of the ancestors, the soul of all of the unknown soldiers who are in an area who do not want to liberate it. If you know the exact location, if you know the exact place, if you know the exact local area, then instead of transfer energy in the past, you transfer the energy, the light of God's aura, and send 9 times. So now you just merge to that area. For example, let's in Vietnam right now, a large country with the 3 parts, north, central, south. For example, I'm a Vietnamese. Sometimes the town in the central, I don't know the exact town or where the landmines are. You say Lai Khe, or you say that An Khe, they have the minefield. I do not know where it is. However, through this question, I want to share with you everywhere. And with my answer, it will meet the demand to help this student as well as all of you in Vietnam. Anywhere, the location that has the landmine, you merge to that area. In that place that in the past they have, like in the case of the orange, in the case that in the past they have the chemical, you are able to help to neutralize all of the toxic. In the case of the landmine during the war in Vietnam, so you merge to that area, and so let's say if they step on the landmine, it doesn't explode, just like the mine failed. There is a force that is from this being, that force, so people can discover this landmine, so that help the people there with safety. Or let's say people who are searching, or people who come to the area to excavate, they thought that there's nothing, but then when they excavate in the past, when you dig and you hit the landmine, that might cause injury. But now if they hit the landmine, it will be safe, and they can bring it out, and this landmine will be malfunction. This is something you can do. So through the question from this student from Holland, to help all of you, all over the world, including in Vietnam, because in Vietnam, in my country, during the war, for many centuries, not just in one century, so there are many landmine and ammunition dumped from the north to the south. So through this, I want to share with many of you in Vietnam, in our country, any location, any place that you know where they have the landmine, then you come there, or indirectly, you merge to that area. You don't have to do it in person. You can only do one, merge one time. Now, it's almost the end of the class. Many of you who want to ask now. So, third question in Australia here. I would like to thank you for allowing me to be here to learn the level 20. First, I would like to represent all of the Vietnamese UE students, especially the student from the level 18, 19, 20. Here, would like to thank you for giving Vietnam the 3 antennas in Vietnam to help to purify the environment and to help the Vietnamese people a chance to develop on a spiritual path. And I have several opinions I want to share with you. First, after they placed the antenna for me, there were 2 times when I meditated near the antenna to transfer energy, and I know that perhaps my body was from Africa, so now I'm in Vietnam. When I meditate, sometimes I can still, there were 2 times when I did it, and I felt my body feel like very white. I do not know what is that phenomenon, seeing the vision that the body turning white. So, and the people in Huế and in Saigon, when they meditate near the antenna, they have seen this kind of phenomenon. Can you explain about it? Secondly, the formula that you allow us to use the UE garlic water to protect our health. And you, in the case of the warm water with the mixing with the porridge to mix, I would like, because in Vietnam, I would like with the amount of gas and wood, can we use 4 liter to cook the porridge, and then later on to cook with 4 liter? So can we divide it into 2? 4 liter each, or do we have to do it all at once for 8 liter when we mix with the rice? In Vietnam, there are some of the mental institutions, a lot of people who have mental problems. For this mental institution, when we merge to help these patients so that they are able to have a stable mind, the formula to merge, it will be the same, just like to merge with the hospital, or is there anything different? So can you show us to help this mental patient? To the presentation of the student from Vietnam to Australia, I want to share with this student as well as all of you, right now as well as in the future. Anywhere they have the big antenna, use it to meditate or to practice to travel to space. Just as I mentioned to you for the past few days, all of the big antenna that you have the big pyramid, the 49 centimeter pyramid. In the past, I have restricted 10 years ago, only one continent you can have one. In the recent years, I see the situation with the air contamination, the difficulties all over the world, too many countries. Therefore, I decided, wherever it is needed, I agree, so that you have a chance. I merged to the big pyramid, 49 centimeter, so that it's always close to you, and my soul is always near you. It is not that I try to keep, but I can contribute to help whatever is needed in the environment to help to improve the environment and to help the souls who are close to the big pyramid, so that all of these souls are able to evolve. And if they do not want to evolve, they can still stay on earth to contribute to help in this world. To me, this task is very easy. When you sit near the big pyramid to meditate, you have a lot of wisdom, because close to the big pyramids, in the antenna, my soul is there each day. My soul is there to keep for you, to help the whole region. So depending on the fate of the soul who are going by or nearby the big pyramid, then all the soul who wish to evolve, they will return to the deities easily. And for you, when you sit and meditate and you see this vision or that vision, perhaps your soul reminded you the past, where you were in. That is not important. The important part is you are in a meditative state. Your body can transform into energy. Slowly, as you practice, slowly you can succeed, so that in the future, anytime you are able to meditate, at any moment, you can transform into energy to travel out to space, to travel here and there, to help people. That is the reason I advise for you to practice. And in a situation that this is something I want to help you in a meditation to help to neutralize all of the toxin. And the rice, 250 grams of rice, cooking with 8 liters of water, but in fact 8 liters in an hour or an hour and a half you cook. In the future, I don't know how you cook, but over here I use gas. About the first 15 to 20 minutes, the water start to boil, and then I bring down the temperature. It takes like about an hour or an hour and a half. So the rice, after the boil, it turns into like a porridge. And if you have you can put in a electric grinder, and then with the remaining, as the water after it's boiling, the water may be like 4 or 5 liters, and then you merge to all the ingredients, the sugar, the salt, and also the rice that you have turned into the powder, and you mix with the water. All the ingredients you merge to each, and that is a way that it can nurture your body. When you meditate, inside that substance, that would help your skin to be soft. I do not want to say that we can peel our skin and live, but the skin cell will change. And that water, as you submerge to practice with your energy, with your soul, it will nurture your body. And in the future, without food, and when you meditate, and when you practice, you travel out to space, when you submerge in that warm water, it will help to eliminate the toxin, and you're able to nurture with that water as you're submerged in to try to practice to travel to space. So whatever I learn, I teach you, so you try to follow it. If you don't have the wood, you use coal or you use gas. And if you don't have gas, then don't practice. What else? You do not change the formula. Many of you in Europe, I said that the garlic, I do not know how to mix the garlic, the liquor, the salt, the sugar, and the water. And they said that they cannot, they do not want to drink liquor. I said this is the medicine that we mix. Now the liquor and to make the medicine, I do not tell you that each day that you have to drink half of a glass of wine or red wine. This is only a medicine that you're mixing. Liquor, salt, sugar, and mixing with the garlic. So the content of the alcohol is reduced. And I also know that the mix of garlic, salt, sugar, liquor, when you transfer energy, and it will help the blood circulation. Now you do not see the effect because you still depend on the hospital, the doctor, the medicine. But when there is no hospital, the hospital there is no room, the doctor is not enough to meet the demands for all the people who are sick. The medicine is not enough to supply. Then at that time, I tell you, right now, let's say in Vietnam, 8,000 to buy wood. For example, 800,000 in Vietnam to buy wood. Even if it is 1.6 million, you would still buy it. And perhaps you would keep it to use for 1 week. So now, you try. If you don't have the ability to cook, in 1 week you do it. In 1 week you submerge for 1 week. I practice for 7 days straight. And Teresa, when she go overseas abroad, I stay home. I was lazy. I do not practice. When she come back, she tell me to practice. So it's about the class. So I do not practice. Why do I practice? I practice so that the result I have, I can teach you. I want you to look more superior than me because I'm also handsome already, so I don't need. And the water I explained for you. I do not know sometimes because for me in the garage I have a container. I just cut a large container. I cut it in half. So now the height is 85 centimeter. The door is only 82. So I could in the future, if the door, perhaps in Australia, in America, you cut the container about 76 centimeter because a normal door, the main door, it is 85 centimeter. So the height is like 76 centimeter. The width, the container for 500 liter, the height is about 76 centimeters. So it is easy for you to bring in the door. So the height is 76 centimeter. So that is the metric system in America. Then you have to convert into inches, 76 centimeter. So so it's roughly about 62 inches. About so it is better for you to measure it yourself. 76 centimeter, and the water you keep in there for 2% for 38. On that day, I tried to mix it. It came all the way to the neck. I do not like the cold water. On that day, I was lucky. It was so the water was so hot. I do not practice, and the water is cold. I do not practice. So Teresa tried to practice, and she almost get burned. The water is so hot when we mix it. So you can experiment with the water. Like in Vietnam, you have a lot of water. You can pour the water. Let's say you pour in 40 and 50 liter, and you try it and see if water is cold or not. And then you take the water out, and then you and mix it. In Australia, we just pour in the warm water, and then on the next day you have to cook half of the volume to boil it. So you can pour it in because we are stingy. So now at least it is at your water level is about your chest or at your shoulder, and you sit in. When you sit in a posture, you sit as you sit in a lotus posture. Do not keep your finger up. There's no energy. When you see this, you just sit in a relaxed position. You sit in a container. You don't need to sit in a lotus posture. Perhaps for those of you, if you cannot sit in the lotus posture, you can just sit. You can just sit and rest right down on the container. I have to teach you very clear. If you sometimes you sit in there, and then you show you sit. And especially for those of you who have hemorrhoid, if you sit in there too long, and it may cause some problem. So when I teach the Vietnamese, I have to tell them very carefully. Sometimes they still do not apply it correctly. I know I'm very much Vietnamese. So I share with you about the case of the warm water. When you sit to practice, you try whatever is needed that you apply. Over here, I'm very limited. Sometimes I practice in the morning or today, and then tomorrow I practice, and then on the third day I discard the water in a day. On the first day I mix the water, and then I practice for 2 days, and then I have to discard it and make it a new water. So that is my opinion I share with you. That is about the water. Now you listen carefully. First of all, for those of you, the psychiatrists, as you know, when you learn EVE, there are two types: the real mental problem and the false mental problem. The false mental problem, there are two types, meaning the one with the chakra 3, from the chakra 3 down. When this wandering soul, when they see you, they are gone. But the soul from the chakra 3 up to chakra 5, these are the highly capable souls. And some of these sorcerers, they are able to control this soul, just like in the case of the sorcerers or the guardian, for example, or the ancestors. So some of these sorcerers, they have the ability to control these souls, because they are working together with these sorcerers to help others, not to harm others. So in this situation, it's very difficult to deal with. So you listen carefully, whether you are the doctor or you are not the psychiatrist. If you are a normal person, when you go near this mental institution, then you merge 3 times. A normal hospital, then you merge 1 time. Listen carefully. So that's how you can distinguish why. If you go to the mental institution each time to merge 3 times, then all of the false mental problems, they are cure easier. And in a real problem, when you help some of these soul, the higher soul, after you are constantly merging, they also be liberated. And this is very difficult to deal with. Sometimes they do not want to leave this high soul. If you patiently do that, they see that they are not able to stay around here, then they will go. As they are going, the first case, the case with the lower soul, is easy to solve, but the higher one, it is harder to solve, but you will be able to solve. So in Europe now, Holland now, you can ask.
Dzień dobry, mistrzu.
Hello, Master. I am a student from Poland, and at the beginning I would like to thank you from the whole group of Polish students who are in Holland. for that you teach us so many levels, so many teachings. I would like to also thank Dr. Teresa and Trun and Jenny for that they organize these seminars in a so good manner, that they organize so good the seminars. Because I would like, I did not will be able to tell anymore on the seminar, so I would like to also thank all people in Holland with their Berber, Dick, their daughters, and also all other organizers that sometimes I don't know the names of Shy Holland people, but thanks to them we can learn in a great atmosphere here. I would like to ask you two questions. First question. First question is about the higher beings. I would like to know why we say higher beings. The higher beings means that there are also lower beings. For example, a human race. So if you say that we should leave the selfishness and power struggles, so how we can combine that with a concept of a hierarchy in a spiritual world? This is the first question. The second question is about the concept of the basis that we are basing on, the concept that we are basing on. I think that the concept of universal energy and their basis is the faith. The faith is our base. And the effectiveness of our acting and the effectiveness of our acts is depending on the faith, the power of the faith, and also from the systematic of our faith, let's say. So how can we make our faith much more stronger? You said some time ago on this level that we are like a sinusoid with our faith. So we are in better mood, we faith more, but then we go down with our faith and we have problems. And again we are up with our faith. So how we can sustain the faith on the highest level. I would like to thank you for everything what you say. And the very private thing. When we were with Dominic in Melbourne, you said to my son Dominic, my translator of Polish group, you told to Dominic in Melbourne, next year you will see me, your wife will see me, and your children will see me. And now on this level, it appears that it is true. Here is the wife of Dominic and also the both children of Dominic. And when you said so in Melbourne, I did not have faith that it can be possible that we all meet you. But now my faith is much greater because we all can see you through television, but we can see you, and it is something great for me. I would like to thank you for that. I don't know if the first question is clear enough, so maybe I will say only two more sentences. The thing is that how can we understand better to leave the power struggle and to leave the selfishness, if we say that in the spiritual world is also a hierarchy. Not only on the earth, because you say that there are higher beings, so it means that there are also a lower beings. So there is a hierarchy, and if there is a hierarchy, there is kind of power there. So how we can understand to leave the problems of power struggle and selfishness in this in this concept. I hope it is clear. Thank you very much.
It is clear. Thank you, Dominic. Now, through all of the question and the presentation of this student from Poland, I want to share with you. Now, as you know, as you mentioned about the human world, we have high and low, the hierarchy, and in the spiritual world, they have the high and low. That is because of the human that we make it up. 34 years ago, as I learned from the deities, there's only one. When there is two, then they have power struggle. And even in that one unity, there is also power struggle. So that's why one is one Master Dang, and there's no two Master Dang, but there are millions of Master Dang, and a million of Master Dang will return back to the main Master Dang and return back to zero. We have names and then we have no names. Just like all of the soul of the body, that they have all the ability that were ahead of us millions of years. Now they want to return back to nothingness, to no names. And these are not the one, they do not want to be like the first to the fourth civilization. They want to have no names. If they still have this entity, like these human races, then they have power. So they want to clear all. They are converging all of the knowledge, all of the intelligence from all of this human race in the past. Now they converge now to this fifth human race. That's where we are right now. From the past 200,000 years until now, this human race has all of the criteria that the deities have given to carry out, to do it, and we are allowed to learn, allow us to teach, so that we can become the people with wisdom and enlightenment. And in the past, they had but very small group. In the case that only 1,541 of us, and there will be 1,551 of people, the soul from the ancestor who are coming into our body to contribute, to help our human race, so that we can return back to the stage of wisdom and enlightenment. That they already had that wisdom and enlightenment, but they still had that selfishness, they still had that power, and as they merge with us, they are able to clear from our body without the wanting of power. Just like Master Dang, in the past I want power, now I do not want power. So I explain for you, so you listen carefully on that point. Because as you know, the power circle in the spiritual world, that is there. The most powerful people on earth, for example, if they accept to help the fifth human race, that we do not have wisdom and enlightenment, so that this human race can return the stage of wisdom and enlightenment like them in the past, as their soul is always control us, do not allow us to want power and help us to clear our selfishness. That is a mission of this soul, to help this fifth human race. The first group, that is 1,541 of us here in this level 20. In the future as well as now, whatever they do, it is their own business. Do not worry about it. Do you take care of yourself or not? There are many questions that you had asked now today. I answer for you. Just like yesterday, a student from Melbourne who asked that he learned, and he went to Vietnam and he heard the monk said that about the material, the mental, about the seventh, the eighth. My God, I don't know how they base and mention that the seventh and the eighth among Buddha. Only one Buddha that caused a lot of problem already. If there are 8 Buddha, that will cause a lot more. So they are making this up according to whatever they want. They want them. They try to make up on the story. They want to be the number one. So that's why we suffer. However, this student, I still remember, he said he learned along from me, and he said that he very dumb. That is the point. It doesn't mean that when you confess that you are dumb and I yell at you, and no matter how high you are, and you accept that you are dumb, you are low, and you are able to learn everything. If you say that you are smart, then why should I teach you? But you say that you are so smart, then I do not need to teach you. If you say that, my God, Master, I tell you, I learned from you for many years, and I'm always so close to you. but I'm still dumb. That is the best, because you confess that, and I will teach you. And in that way, you are very smart, very wise. You said that you are dumb, but in fact, you try to learn from me. Whoever said that you are dumb, then I teach. If you say that you're smart, then why should I teach you? And when I teach you, you start to argue. Is that right? Because they say they are smart. They say they are smart, and you try to teach them. No matter how you try to teach them, they argue with you. Because they say they are smart, and you try to teach them they're dumb, and they do not listen to you. The hardest one is to learn to be dumb. The lecture I give you, the document I give you 2 weeks before the class to prepare for the level 20. Or if you are not in a level 20, now you are learning the law, you're learning to be stupid, so that you can become zero. You know what is that? To learn the dumb, the stupidity, that is something you never learn. That is the bad and the stupidity that you learn. But you yourself, you just sometimes you are so bad, you are evil. That is a human nature. That is we need to learn. Because we cover ourselves, we don't want to learn, we don't want to accept it. Because you are already bad in your nature, and you try to cover it. You don't want to see it. So now you have to see it, face it, and learn it. You are poor, and you say you are not poor. Is there a sin that being poor? When you are stupid, you say you are stupid. Is there a sin? When you have money, you go to the school. I don't have money, and I have to learn in the material world. As you go in and you learn in the books in school, there are so many subjects I just want to share with you. As you are in the level 20, I give you examples. It will be a waste of your time. So as you learn in school, you to have experience, you have to learn 10 more years out in society, and perhaps you're not able to learn all a lesson out in society. A worker with 30 years of experience, you only learn 7 years. When you go out, you have to call this worker as your teacher. But in Vietnam, when you just graduate out of school, just a doctor, engineer, you keep on looking lower at all of the worker. You say that you learn in school, and you know this, you that. They will let you do it, and you have a malfunction, and then you'll be in jail, because this nurse, they have a lot of experience, but you are just out of school, fresh out of school. You think that you are better than them, and they know that this virus, you give this type of drugs, and then you say that you learn in school. This is what they let you do it, and then you end up in jail. It is not that I'm taking side of this worker or nurse, but I have learned through in society in all 5 continents. All of my students from all walks of life, I learn from the experience, so I can give you my opinion. As you are close to me, you learn from me. As you say you do not know, I teach you. But you want to know, you say that you know everything, that I do not teach you. Even if I see it clearly, I do not teach you, because you say that you know everything. When I try to teach you, we'll have an argument always. So it's best, I say, stay silent. It is best. If they are lost, they turn around. When they are wrong, they come back. So there's no loss in that. That is how I want to share with you. All of you, the students in UE, if you do not know, then you learn. But remember, and you have been hearing what I'm saying. You say you do not know, but in fact, it has to be truthful. Do not try to say that you do not know, and then in doing that, then you are wrong. I have seen this case many times as I'm trying to correct this. They say that they do not know. If you really do not know, I teach you. They said you said you don't know, but in fact you know, but in fact you are wrong. 3 plus 3, and you keep on saying it's equal to 2. You don't have the experience. And then due to tradition, culture, family, society, and that causes you think that you know, but in fact you don't know anything. Really, you do not know anything. And you said that you know, and you know the fake one. You do not know, but you think that you know. You think that you learn in school, you know everything, but in fact you do not. You sit out in the light, and they say in the dark. How do you know? They are in the dark. Master Dang is in the dark. Whatever you do out there, in the light, I can see you. So I can teach you, so you can laugh. You are out in the light. Do you dare to be naked out in the light? I'm in the dark. I'm naked. Nobody see anything, but I can see you out there in the dark, in the light. Whether you wear clothing or you don't wear clothing, I still see. But I'm in the dark. Whether I wear clothing or not, you don't see me. That is the best. Who want to go to the dark? Then you raise your hand. But you go to the dark, you have to do not think that the master doesn't have a shirt and going to the dark and you don't wear clothes. But in fact, you are in the dark. You can see out there, so you can help out there. So in the book they mention about good and evil. The dark return to the dark, the light go to the light. But we go to the light, go to the dark. When we go to the dark, we have the ability to see the light in order to help the light, to update everything in the light, so that they can succeed in the light. If you are if you are dark and you go to the dark, it means you are blind. You are dark and you go to the dark. Even when you wear glasses, you cannot see. Not even with the normal eyes, you cannot see in the dark. The point I'm trying to share with you, so that you are able to understand in every aspect. So after this class, you will have many things that you can contribute in many aspects, not just only one. Now you learn UE, more or less your family, more or less there is something that give you a positive side, so you can continue to learn from lower to the higher levels. If I'm teaching just in a normal, just like all the normal teachers, now the student in UE, more or less, we have only 10,000, not more or less. With the result in the material way, the result in the spiritual way, that the deities have supported many of you, all of us, so that we can serve to help our family, our country, and furthermore, we can help the communities. So when you come here, more or less, you have the seed of love that God has chosen your body, so that God can send the higher soul to merge into your body, as God has chosen to contribute to help mankind. That is the teaching of UE. It has been around for 18 years, but in fact, if the person of Master Dang to open the school of UE just to learn to treat people, then by now, more or less, we only have just 10,000 people. As you can see, there are so many teachers in America and around the world. They are very capable in science and technology, in society. But I tell you the truth, their students, more or less, they have 10,000 people, not like millions like us. As I have taught you up to this class, it will be 18 years, and we have students from all walks of life. And my student is from all religion, from all races. In all 5 continents, we have the student of Master Dang. There's no master who can teach and develop the student like fast like this. There's no faster master that can have the students from all 5 continents who can teach us. The student can translate into 14 languages, perhaps maybe 2 or 3 at most. Sometimes in America, they teach only in 1 language. If they know English, they can go in, otherwise then they cannot. So how many people who really know English? It's not like translated in like in UE. The translator, the professional one, each day, the best one, perhaps 2 hours in a day, or maybe 3 hours in a day, and that's all they can do. They cannot do more than that. Not like many of these people here, all 6 days, and each day 8-7 hours. And our translators, and they know clearly, and they never feel tired. And professional translator, they have to work for 1 or 2 hours, and they are tired. These are the professional one. But for us, we are not the professionals, but the energy from the deities who help us. So with our translators, they are able to have this, the health and the mind to bring the light of joy to themselves and bring the light of joy to others. That is how God can give the blessing for all of us. You can see in any of the conference that are translated into many languages, any of the conference that are constantly translating without feeling tired. I confirm with you, there's none. Only in a UE conference, each time when we have a high seminar, the translator at least from 12 to 14 languages. We don't have any teaching or any master that can teach, and that is translated into many languages like this. It never happened in the history of mankind. You listen carefully. Never, we can never see. So you can see the teaching of Yui, who opened this, who's supporting it, who give us this ability, if not the deities. Now, next question.
Hello, Master Deng. Hello, Teresa, everybody. We would like to thank to our organization in Holland. They have done a wonderful job, as always. I have several questions and several doubts. First of all, I may realize, as a joke to begin with, that I will never be one of millions Master Deng, just because I'm a lawyer, as you always like to joke between lawyers and masters. Master Deng, I realize that this seminar is about Vietnam, is about power, and is about selfish. I would like you to talk more about that, and also with regard to the fact that on Discovery I saw broadcast telling that a lot of people, very high entities in Vietnam, physical persons, can find the body of the dead soldiers on the battlefield and help families to identify and make the proper burial of those persons. And this is not only one, there are more. So this is happening in Vietnam for several times now, and this activity is recognized and supported by the government. I would like you to comment more on that with regard to souls of soldiers, and they are going to come into us, as we talked about these days. Also, I would like to ask you with regards to fake, light and dark. I wanted to ask you that, and you seem to have talked about that during the last answer. Are we really in the light, or are we in the dark? I saw on Discovery also that a scientist explained that light is not light, in fact, white light. The true light is the black one. The white light is like a color, is like red, yellow, green, but the true light is dark. This is why the universe is in light, is not in darkness. So this leads to the following idea. We are going to the space where we cannot go to the dark, we go to the light. So I would like you to comment on that and emphasize a little bit what you begin to explain during the last answer to the last question. I wanted to ask you more, but I'm sure you will answer on the way until the seminar is finished. The opening, the ability for us to open chakras 100%, it is going to be a special transfer or not? Thank you very much.
Now, through your question, let me share with you. Now, as you know, for the first time, for my people, with the thousands of years of wars, not just hundreds, there is no country in the world that had the war for thousands of years and never been in the history of mankind. Perhaps some countries suffer like several centuries of war, and that's all. There's no small country on the map of the world that has to endure thousands of years of wars. with thousands of years of war, you can see so many souls who sacrifice, not just in Vietnam, but all over the world. They come to spend the time and effort to come to the land in Vietnam, to try to conquer, to win in Vietnam. And in Vietnam, we have gone through 1,000 years under the conquer, and we will not give up. That is only the divine plan. Sometime after 300 or 400 years, some people may also be totally conquered. But for us, for 1,000 years, we are still, and that's why in the 20th century, there are many people with a capacity that come, including Master Dang. Master Dang is abroad, and inside the country, there are so many people with psychic ability to help. Just like you mentioned, these are the people with the real ability to find the soul, the dead, locate the dead body. You know why this psychic, they have ability? Just like for you right now, you are a normal person. And how come you do not learn black magic, but you are able to have all the wandering soul? And sometimes the sorcerer cannot do it, and you are able to. Do you learn black magic? No. How come you can do it? Who is doing it? Is it your body? Your body, the moment you touch, you die instantly if you try to do that. In the same way for these psychics in Vietnam. In fact, I'm glad that from the past until now, the people in Vietnam, there are so many cases, but there's no case that is similar, just like the recent years, that in my country, we are fortunate, as well many of these who sacrifice, that they're able to locate the missing body, and they brought back the body to the family of these people who sacrificed their life. And recently, one of the soldiers from Australia who came to Vietnam and give birth to a child, and died in Vietnam. And 42 years later, they found the body. So you can see, they found the body. So the child never saw his father, as his father died during the war. Never. So later on, they was able to recover the body. Besides the fact that these psychic people who do it, there are many other tasks. That is one of the blessings that the deities had given to my people, because we suffer so many times of war, so now we can benefit. And in that, there's Master Lảo UNG MINH ĐÁNG, who represents Vietnam to teach for the past 18 years. Whoever asked me, I confirm that my name is Lảo UNG MINH ĐÁNG, and I'm with the citizenship of Australia or America, but I'm from Vietnam. That is one of the infinite gift that the deities had given to my people who suffer for thousands of years under the conquer and under war. So you can see there are so many souls. How can you save them all? Therefore, as I place the 3 antennas in your country and in other countries around the world, at most you have the war only in the 20th century, but for my country, they suffer for 10 centuries, even more than 10 centuries of war. But for many of you around the world, perhaps you suffer the war only 1 century. In the 20th century, how many people died? Only 100 years. My point here is, in the First and Second World War, and that's done, and that's the small-scale war that is very insignificant. But in my country, they have wars and being conquered for 1,000 years, and they try to struggle and to regain their independence. Do you see any people who are so brave, just like the people in Vietnam, because of the fact that they accept, they endure through? That's why the deities have chosen those who have the capability to come to help mankind. It doesn't mean that the deities chose those with the ability just to have selfishness and power struggle. That is a point that the people in Vietnam, they are very fortunate. I'm very fortunate. And all of you, the students in UE, all over the world, you are fortunate that we have the same common thinking like Master Dang. That's how I share with you. And there are many others But I just want to share with you in short and precise so you understand that my people had to endure the time of war and conquer for such a long time, and they did not change. And that is the blessing of the deities who gave to my country, the blessing to give to the people in Vietnam. Now, as the student from Italy who mentioned about the power struggle, only inside a family they have the power struggle, so how can you blame outside in society? Any group of people, they always want to be on top, to be on top, whether they want to be on top just for the whole country or for their own group or not. You look through the history of humankind after 20 centuries. Within the recent 20 centuries, there is a special case, that is the case of Jesus Christ, who suffered a lot. After that, Muhammad, he could not stay in his country. He has to go abroad here and there, so that he can establish, to teach, to help his followers. But then, in the case of Jesus Christ, he was so young. He had to go here and there at the end, and he also had to suffer and return back to God. But when he returned back to God, he left behind so many means that through the past 20 centuries for the humankind to recognize, to help the humankind through the journey to learn to evolve. So I just want to share with you about the fact of power struggle that caused so much problem in many situations. As you can see, through this situation, we are very fortunate that their descendants or their followers, the disciples of this high being, give us the means so we learn and we are able to share, so we do not dare to cause more war or hatred. And if on earth there is no war, no hatred, no selfishness, then the people around the world, we will have true peace all over the world. That is my wish, and all of this being and God also wish. That's why they send a group of the human race with ability that had been on this earth, so that they can come out to help the people, and the last human race, that is our people right here, we are living in this world today. That is how I share with you, you and me. Hopefully we should try to avoid selfishness. It is easy, but to avoid the power struggle, that is so difficult, because you don't want to, but others, they bring you up if you accept, and then you are stuck. Therefore, I advise for you already, we have the power inside the darkness, then we have everything. If you have the power out in the light, then for sure there's no way for you to be kind and humane, because you have power. Once you have power, there is the struggle, and in that struggle there's the people who suffer, and that would be the spark of war, the cause of war. I do not want any more war. I do not want the human to suffer. I just want to contribute in that sense. Recently, this was mentioned about the light that is in the dark, but in fact, we are in the dark, we can see the light, and we can help the light with a problem out in the light. We can help what is needed out in the light, because you are outside the earth. We look into the earth. Wherever is needed, we contribute. Wherever they need, we can help. That is something we had been and we continue to have for the past 18 years, from the time when I started to teach you EWE from the level 1 on the 20th of July 1989 until now today, 18 years. Now I share with you through the question from Paul in Holland. I share with you in general to bring the light of joy for Paul. Now, as you are a lawyer, just be a lawyer. But if you are a lawyer, you can also be a master. I'm the master, I cannot be a lawyer. But you, if you are a lawyer, you can be a master. Then you have 2 jobs, you have 2 diplomas. There's no problem for you. You continue on with your journey. If you need a lawyer, you go out and help. If you need a master, you walk out. You can work in 3 professions. It's better. It's also best. Next question.
Lieve meester Dang, mooie Therese.
Dear Master Dang, dear Lady Teresa, all my colleagues and translators, I do not know which new soul I will receive, but now I have a very sleepy soul. When I drive home from this seminar, I already fall asleep in my car, and when I'm home, I go to bed and sleep again. It feels as if I'm falling away. I feel myself a little bit hazy and strange. It feels as if I'm saying goodbye. The energy feels very intense. Old emotions are coming up. And besides, I feel an enormous joy. And today it goes better, by the way. I am somebody who is living very much from its heart, from my heart, and I hope it will stay that way after I receive my new soul. My question, after level 19, I have noticed many times that people with whom I merge, that they become first depressed or seriously ill. One person had to be taken to the hospital by ambulance, and my dear mother had a double pneumonia when I merged with her. Afterwards, it went better, and they changed in a positive way. Maybe these were old parts of them that had to leave their body in a very turbulent way. How will it be if we can merge with everybody in the world? Will this create chaos and afterwards peace and tranquility? Because merging is a very turbulent situation for many people. Thank you, Master, for the answer.
Now, since you are sleepy, that is your body. The body, the soul does not eat aware. The soul is not sleepy. The soul can stay awake for 24 hours. If the soul is asleep, you know why? That means your body is either cremated or buried. The soul is always awake. People sleep. If the soul is sleeping, then you die. That means, so sleeping, that is your own, the body, not the soul. Listen carefully. Does it mean that you are preparing for the honor soul that goes and let you go to sleep? The soul doesn't go to sleep. The soul never sleeps. If the soul sleeps, then you die. And the air, without the air, then you die. Because they are the air, like the air. So I explained to you on that point. So you never be confused about that the soul has to act like this and like that. All of this acts, that is the body. The soul just help. If the soul has the ability, if the soul doesn't have the ability, then it will be drowned in the suffering because it is under the control of the body, as the body is blocking the evolution of the soul. That is how I explain for you in general, so you can understand. Through the question and the presentation of this student, I want to share with you. Now, as you merge, you are enhancing their health to bring the positive to these people through the presentation of these people. Sometimes they are not used to it, just like when you are just taking drugs and you feel the side effect. But then when the drug is used in your body is used to it, then it is better for the patient. You can rest assured when you transfer energy and merge, in a way, those who are linked to you by faith in a lower level, as you remember, first of all, when you learn directly from me in a lower level in many years ago, when you have aches and pain, and there are some other patients who come and you transfer energy, then a few days later they feel pain 2 times or 3 times more, but they are afraid. From my experience, I share with you, that was when the blood vessel, when they have problem, when you are able to use the energy to help to stimulate the blood circulation. So with all of the blood vessels expanding and helping the blood circulation, that may cause the first symptom. They feel pains. They might feel pains for 2-3 days, And once the blood flows in the body are used to it, or the nerve are used to it, and after a while you are used to it, and the pain goes away. That is the case when I explained to you in the lower levels about these symptoms. In the higher level, I explained to you already. Sometimes that body, they lack a lot of energy. When you merge in a way, you are sending the energy to stimulate the whole body, and that body may feel discomfort, but after they feel discomfort, they feel better. So do not be concerned when you merge and that person may have this problem or that problem. It is not. You are enhancing the energy. As you have the energy, you are helping that person, and that person has the energy, and that person can recover. That is how I explained to you, so you can rest assured. So you have the opportunity, you continue on your journey to contribute to help these people who are sick. Now, next question in Holland.
Hello, dear Master. Hello, Lady Teresa. And thank you very much for this new level, for this opportunity, a great opportunity for all of us. I want to thank you also to the organizers, Lady Berber and Dr. Dick, and to salute everybody there in Australia and also in Thailand and here in Holland, of course. I would like to let you know officially that we finally managed to organize the first basic level in Romania. I mean the new center in Bucharest. We named... Do I keep talking? No? No, it's...
We hear you.
Yeah? Okay. And it was a very nice seminar we organized in another city in the middle of the country. After this announcement, I would like to talk about two important subjects for myself. Maybe there were other people that were also having a very hard time after level 19th. While we were still in Australia, still doing the seminar, the level 19th, I had a very powerful dream, and I actually woke up from that dream being very scared. And in that dream, a person which was having a strong power over me. He could know exactly what I thought. He could know what I want to do. He entered the flat I was living in together with my husband, and he put his hand in front of my throat. He stopped me from being able to talk because I wanted to warn my husband. And then because he had to keep me blocked, he could also not move and go to search for my husband. But the very next day, my husband had a terrible pain in his throat, and for the whole day he could not come to the seminar because of very high fever and very sore throat. Now, after this very bad dream, for 3 months till April, I felt like, I don't know, being haunting, it's not what I mean, but there was something like another voice which was trying to place thoughts in my mind which I could not accept. There was a turmoil for 3 months. There were thoughts like selfishness was involved in there. Somebody wanted me to be selfishness. I had doubts. I had fears. I had physical problems. Health problems, not very minor problems, but anyway, everything was like meant to be a great test. Until one day, a day before my birthday, when I literally felt something went off my head, and I finally said, oh, here I am. This is me. I felt, and afterwards I understood that indeed it was a great testing time. This testing time, while this time went by, I felt many doubts even of you and of the school, and I was wondering what is happening. Where is the love I know? Where is my dedication? And it was a very hard time in order to know yourself, your true self. All my life I was drawn to the truth, and this was probably my main lesson, and also the lesson that brought me a lot of suffering, because I knew when someone was lying to me and I could not understand why. So because of lies, I've been suffering very much. Now, during this time, I've asked God, and I have asked you, because I realized I cannot receive correct messages. I have asked God to send me a dream, a very clear dream. And this is the first question I would have. I would like you to explain to me the meaning of this dream, because I know when I woke up, I knew it is the real answer. But still now, it's not very clear, the meaning of it. I dreamt that we were all in a kind of university campus, where it was only the spiritual school. I was kind of already graduated, but I was walking with another person to the examination hall in order to support that person, to help that person. After I entered the hall, the teachers there, the exam, the subject was spiritual sciences, the history of spiritual sciences, sorry. And the teacher told me, after some time, he looked at me and said, "Oh, but I think you haven't passed your first exam." I said, "What? Oh, yes, it's not that I failed it, but I could not come. I could not be present for the first exam." And then I have asked which was the subject, and the subject, and here this is the important thing, was the dynamics of electromagnetic fields. But nobody could tell me anything about that. I have asked the teachers, they didn't know. I have asked other friends I could see there. Nobody knew about this subject. This is my question to you, Master. Please, if you can give me some light about, over this subject. And the second one, we have, before the seminar, me and my husband, we went to Lourdes in France. I had this feeling inside for 2 months that we have to get there, to go there before the seminar. And when I arrived there, I had this understanding. What I was feeling before I arrived next to the grotto, it was more like Virgin Mary. In that moment, I was even ashamed of my thought. How can I dare to think like this? It was more than Virgin Mary. It was the mother of all living beings there. The feeling I had, it was incredible. But also, I had this understanding. Do you see all these people? There were many people, sick people there. Do you see all these sick people? Do you know why they can't get healed, all of them? Because their heart is sealed, is closed. And then we heard about the 80 liters per meter, the flow of the spring, and suddenly I made a connection with the heart pulse. And then the blood, which is flowing into our body usually with this speed. And then after we left Lourdes, the only place I wanted to see in Paris, suddenly it came into my mind, was Sacré-Cœur, the Sacred Heart Church. And in there I saw a kind of sculpture. In the middle of it, it was the Sacred Heart. that thing, that object, that monument was containing a great energy. And instantly, somehow, I understood that this is the seal of the heart, the closed heart. And this is how probably many people in the past, probably religious also, helped to keep us, the humans, under a kind of lack of love. The flow of love, the real love, spiritual love, was somehow stopped because of this seal. The flow of love was also, and the light was also coming to us in 2003 in a very beautiful song sang by an Italian singer, which is Laura Pausini, and the name of the song is Siamo Noi. We are the ones. The song is saying we are the ones that really can bring the light and the love and the harmony. Thank you very much, Master.
Through the presentation like this, as she presents whatever she said, and Vu is translating, I'm signing, and Vu is translating. I do not pay attention because all of the translating part, I only receive a few words and I know the intention. First, I answer to this student as well as all of you. I have taught you. When you change a level, your soul, the higher soul that comes to your body, to guide your body so that it is appropriate to the level of the soul. So that's why you feel sadness, happy, hatred, discouraged. And this student, you want to have a clear message to guide this student. For that reason, the soul agree to your body so that so you know your body is chosen by the deities to let you see the dream, see the vision, and at the end you can find your heart. And you can find the significance of what you learn. And after you learn the class in universal energy about electromagnetic, about universal energy, and then you go to Lourdes, to south of France, to prove to you that only with faith, and only with the faith in your heart you believe in the deities, symbolize the Virgin Mary with her special ability to be able to help millions of people who are sick all over the world. Each year, as her feast day in the 13th, they come to Lourdes to show her respect. So that is the answer for you. That is a soul, as is from the deities, to come to this body to help you to learn so that you can progress and to guide you into the school of universal energy to learn about electromagnetic field. That is the school that you and your husband come here to learn. It is very clear for you, but you do not understand. In the previous seminar, I had explained to you already. When you see the dream is a fake. However, in a dream, if your soul has a capacity to guide you, to help you to develop on a spiritual path, then it may be real. In the material world, the soul can guide you to let the body to see it is fake. But your soul can show you in the spiritual path, then it is real. That is because of your wish and your desire that the soul create all of this fake and real events in a spiritual and a material way, so that you have the chance to understand. When you come to this level 20, then you are able to grasp all of these issues in order to develop on your spiritual path. So in a way, as you come to this level 20, you understand all of this. Like for the past few days, I presented to you, starting on the following days after the end of the seminar, tomorrow and the following days, you will always have a new soul. Your body will have going through new changes. If it is needed anytime, you can pray to your soul, your own soul, the new soul. Except if you are not satisfied, so that your knowledge is more complete, at any moment, you can pray to the soul of Master Dang to merge with you. Then you would know everything to help you to complete the mission that your body, as you are chosen by God to serve your country, your people, and furthermore to help the communities in the world. That is through the presentation of the students. I summarize all of these events. So when I summarize for you, all of you, you can understand. And the one who understands the most, that is this student who asked. You can see, she asked a lengthy question. I just summarize everything to you and answer to you precisely so you can understand fully. And this student would know more. So now in Thailand, you can ask. Now I start to sign the diploma again. I'm come from Việt Trì, Phú Thọ in Vietnam. I would like to thank you to give all of the UE students an infinite gift, meaning that all of the students in here, in this level 20, and you had given all of my family that we can come to this class, and you have saved my wife. I would like to thank you, Master. I would like to ask you a few things. Some of my questions that I'm not clear. I would like to ask you, when the families that have several people who come to learn to this level 20, when we merge, it is a different comparing as in the level 19. So we are here and we merge with this technique. When we are in the level 20, what are the level can we teach in UE? And merging to a dirty place, is there any problem? Some of the UE students who say that we cannot merge to the dirty places, or in a place that they carry many of these wasted, because they think that when we merge to this, it is like show disrespect to the deities. Many people who said that I cannot merge to these places, dirty places. I said I have merged many times, I have seen the results, so now I would like to ask you directly. And another student in NGẻn that you had given the blessing to come here to learn free. So we don't have enough time. In NGẻn, we don't have enough water for rice field. And they have problem with the rice field. In this level 20 is a formula to help NGẻn in the central part. They have a drought, and there are a lot of suffering with food. And I have been there. I see a lot of them. They do not have water. So is there a way to help the student in NGẻn with their rice field? And they don't have enough, even have any water. So to help them with the rice field. And with the chicken farm, is there a formula? How do we merge to help? To have to improve without causing sickness to these animals, and then this person is also in 1.3 meter, and if he's standing in the container, is there a special formula for this? If this person is only 1.3 meter high, and if he stay in a container so high, he will be drowned in the container so higher than him. So is there a way to help him? Now, to the question of the student, let me answer for you. Now, let me explain for you. In your family, regardless of any people, each of the people, you can merge collectively to all the people around the world. But I want you to merge wherever is needed first. Tsunami, war, tornado, storm, anywhere they have catastrophe, then you need to merge there to help there. That is more meaningful when you help, more effective. That is how I share with you. It doesn't mean that in your family you have 4 persons and you divide and then you merge. So this time in level 20, you can merge collectively without any limit of the people. So you can listen carefully. And now you can merge anywhere, even the dirty place you merge there. Your soul is merging there to help those souls and to help that dirty places so they don't have contamination to the environment. So the virus doesn't cause problem to the people with health. You can do it. In many classes, you remember, when I taught you in person, it is so difficult, there's no way. When you feel tired, you can just go into the toilet for 3 minutes. You go in there, you sit down in the toilet and you just close your eye and just think. Even the smell at that moment, it doesn't matter. You don't smell anything. If you have to go in there, you do practice. There's no problem. You sit in there just by yourself. Nobody will go in there. This is what I show you. Regardless of any situation, you can practice. When you have your chakra open 100%, when you are able to use the combined frequencies anywhere, any location, you can use. You can still receive universal energy depending on your level that you are able to apply to help yourself and to help the soul of all the living creatures, even in the dirty places that this one had mentioned. In fact, the faith of the people in Vietnam, I understand. First, they believe in the deities and the ancestors and all of the high being, that they are afraid of show disrespect when they go to the dirty places. But you know, any places that you say it is dirty, it is still clean, and some other clean places is dirty. Do not pay attention whether it is clean or dirty, but you should pay attention to the formula, the technique that you are able to achieve to be able to contribute to help people. This is the top thing that you need to think. Do not think about whether it is this or that. I know the people in Vietnam, because you believe in the high being, so you need to know the high being. You are afraid that because of the show disrespect to this being when you go to the dirty place. According to the high being, they do not want you to praise them or worship them. They want you to help all the living creatures who are suffering. These are the virus in these dirty places that this student had transparency or merged effectively, and other they had concern. So now I clear for all of you, so this student can continue on your journey to merge to transparency, to have all of this environment. Regardless of any environment, you are able to help. So I explain in general for you. In the case of teaching, all of you, I let you teach with the condition that do you know how to teach. So in the level 19, there's a number of you. I taught you how to open chakras. I show you how to transfer energy, but you do not know how to teach. I said, if you don't know how to teach, for those who know how to teach, and they are not allowed, they don't have the capacity to open chakras, after they teach, then you just come there and you tell them to press the head on chakra 6 and 7, and you open chakra 100% for them. I want you to be able to teach. However, from the according to the program of universal energy, for those who learn in the highest to teach, you need to know how to teach. You need to have the experience. If you don't have the experience, I let you teach at level 6. How can you conduct the class? If you want to teach, first, you have to study the material. Second, all of the classes that you come to audit, so that you know the material, you know, you come to the level 3, so you know how the level 3 is taught. You go to audit the level 4, so see how the level 4, how they practice, how they open chakras. So each step you learn the material in theory, and you see your friends and your classmates, how they conduct the class, so you can have experience. Then you would be able to conduct the class, and as you are used to it, then you can teach from the lower to the high levels. It doesn't mean that after you learn the highest level, then you can go and teach. There are some of them, they are capable. Even if they have the capable, no matter how they are, they need to learn the experience, how to teach, how to conduct the class, so people can easily understand. Only that way you spend the time and effort to help these people to be more effective. And the people who come to learn, they do not waste their time. That they are not able to learn if you do not have to teach them correctly. That is the reason why I advise for you. If you want to teach, you need to audit when you come to audit 2 or 3, 4 or 5 times, so you are used to it, you know the experience. And in your region, for those people in the region in Vietnam, when you see that some people who can give you the group leaders, and so when you see the group leaders, when I hear some people who are the group leaders, when you know some of these people who can link you, and you practice with them, and when they practice with you and they bring you to me, and I'll sign, and then they give it to you, the paper that you can teach. Oh my God, I know that some of these cases, people, the group leaders, I say I'm learning now Vietnamese in the past many years now, in the south of Vietnam, especially the southerner, and they have the car is broken in the street. In Vietnam, the car traffic jam now, they have a different word. I just learned a few words in Vietnam now, and there's some of the words in Vietnam now. They have a new word. I'm learning some of the new words, a new slang in Vietnam, and oh my God, they have changed many vocabulary. I have one of my nieces said that there's some of the vocabulary in Vietnam now. They change, especially like in the case of clothing in Australia. If you go to Kmart and they have shirt or T-shirt, they have the same. But they want to find something unique. Many of these shoppers, they want to find something unique, and they said that. So they have some new word to describe that this product is unique, and to buy something unique, they have to go to the expensive shop to buy. So some of these people, they want to buy unique clothes, but cheap. The only way is you go to the cemetery, you buy the clothing. They make it for the dead. So now I just share with you. To this question, I share with you, so you have the experience to learn and you can progress. Now I explain for you in Vietnam. When I was young, I traveled to many regions, especially in the mountain area. In Ba Mê Thuật, in Pleiku, in Kon Tum, in Đà Lạt. I've seen the minority people in the mountain area with the rice. So wherever you don't have enough water, and you can apply this technique. You water less. You can use a little water to just like when you are watering the vegetable. I do not know about the rice. You need to have sufficient water to be able to do it. So now let's say you are watering, just like you are watering the vegetable, and when you are doing it with universal energy, you merge to your field. Then you have less fertilizers and less water, and they can grow. Just like when you are applying the technique from the many people in the mountain area, not just like in Vietnam, many of you in many of the area in Thailand, when you have lack of water, then you apply this technique with the lack of water. You use the EV water, you pour it in, and each time when you pour the EV water in, and you merge to the field, whether it is a fruit or in anything that you are growing for eating, you can apply this technique. You are able to achieve. In the case of the research on the spirituality, you pray to the deities from north, south, east, west, so that they can bring the rain to your area. When you pray, when it's rain, do not pray anymore. When it rain and you pray, if with a lot of water, it causes a problem. If you pray and when it rains and you stop, do not pray. When it rains and you continue to pray, then a lot of water would come, and with a lot of water, it would cause a problem in the case of your land and your products. And now, the virus, through this question from this student, the virus in the dirty area, they have a lot of virus, you transfer energy to them and you merge to them, so they do not develop to cause sickness to others. And now for the animals, you give them the food, or you let them eat, let's say, a banana or the food, for example, rice and wheat, you feed them and you merge to the food to feed this animal, and you merge to these animals. And you merge to the whole group of chicken or ducks, you just merge to them one time. Then all that soul, when they return, receive, and they would eat and they will grow. And then when you eat their meat, it would not cause epidemics. Just like recently in Vietnam and other country, they have the problem with the bird flu. So that is my opinion I share with you. Just like yesterday, I remember a student who asked, how can we transfer energy to the pets at home? You merge and then you are able to heal them. It's not so difficult. That is how I share with you. And the person, 1.3 meter, level 19 over here, he said that when that man come, and she will give him the money to come, she give, she said she support. My God, he's only 1.3, and if she said that she will help him, if the student is 1.3 meter, he was in level 19 in Thailand recently. Depending on the situation, I recorded that in the technique to merge with the water, if the two sisters or the two brothers, if you don't have enough water, then you pour it in. If you have enough water, you just measure. If you have 1.3 meters, so instead of pouring the water 76 centimeter or 38 centimeter, so you just pour it in for 20 centimeters. So depending on your height, if I tell you to pour in 37 centimeters, and you sit there, you submerge in there, you would drown. So depending on the situation that you measure the water level to sit in. So listen carefully. If the man and or the husband or the wife or the brothers or the sisters, you can sit in to practice together. And there's another one. If the first person practice or the next one practice afterwards, there's no problem. If like this, student that four in your family, that four of you in the family who learn, you make a part of the warm water. Then after the first one walk in, and the third one, the second, just like when you are taking the bath together, there's no problem. But this container here, since you don't have a large area, you cannot do it for a group. Let's say we have a large container, then several person can go in there and sit in there and close your eyes, you practice. There's no problem. The reason that I tell you to use the warm water, that is the reason to avoid the case when you sit in the cold water, you feel cold. I do not know about in Vietnam or in Thailand. If the water is so hot and the water is warm, if you are outside so hot and you sit in if you can sit in the cold water, that's no problem. If you can, if you are able to. I know in foreign country, some people in a foreign country, when they go to Vietnam, even though it was hot, they need to use warm water. They're not able to handle the cold water. Some people they are weak. Some of the people, even if they are fat, they are not able to handle the cold water. So now, next question in Thailand. We are the students for many years, but we never get a chance to see you in person. It is so difficult for us to see you. I hope that you would come to Vietnam so we are able to see you. But if the student cannot see the master, we feel sad. I think that only Master Lảo UNG MINH ĐÁNG, and this is the technique that is very unique. When we receive the good news that you come to Vietnam, we are very glad. We hope that you can come to Vietnam. You would go from the south to the north, and you stop by Huế. And also there is a unique products, and we would like to invite you to eat all of the special food in Huế, and we would like to invite you to visit many of these temples in Huế. And at night, we would like to invite you to go on the boat to hear the singers to sing on the boat. Because around the world, these are the special one, and we agree that these are the two special one. Then how come we don't invite the master to come to? We are honored to invite you. So now we're talking about the pyramids. I have several opinions. In the development of the UE students, we would like to say that in Huế the development is strong, but they are disconnected there. We are not able to communicate with each other, and each group, they have their own ways. So that is also something that is unfortunate. But from the time we have the pyramid in Huế, then all of us, we are able to come together. I would like to thank you, Master, for this. And to tell you the truth, I really respect you. From the antenna, I have my idea. So for the whole month in my house, it will be like every day is like a festival, because the students as well as the public, they mentioned that in my house there is a machine that can heal people. So everybody's come. So we are very glad that it is also difficult for us, because a lot of people come in the morning. Only 6 o'clock in the morning, the bell already ring. At noon, the phone ring, and at night, everybody's coming all the time. So we are glad, but also because a lot of people that come, and also report to you, you may see that the secret police had come and had prayed to you, and everything is calm. And I would like to present to you that some of the monks and the sisters that come and for treatment. I have seen that, but we were also afraid, because we do not have the sufficient means to meet this kind of demands. So can you help us? And furthermore, a number of students who come, we do not know how can we guide them what to do. And a number who come, they want to call you to meet you, so to ask you for help. I do not know what to do. So I just give you some of this opinion. Hopefully you can help us. We see that the antenna is so incredible. So since we are here, we would like to ask that in Thailand, in Australia, we had, or in Holland, in other countries, they should ask to have this. That's all my wish, because this is something very good to help mankind. And I would like to greet you, Master, and also send you all the wish for good health. Through representation of this student from Vietnam who come to Thailand, as you know, in the future with the antenna, it has a very strange attraction to help the country, to help the people, to help the communities in the future. It will help to clean the environment, to help the soul to evolve, to return to the light very easily. I also know ahead. That's why the 3 antennas, one in Hanoi, one in the central, and one in the south. In fact, I do not want to place the third one to place in the house of my family members, in fact, but nobody there to take it. For that reason, I placed right in the house of my family members, so you have a chance to come. As I mentioned to you for the past few days, eventually, not only in Australia, Vietnam, but it will expand everywhere when there are the antennas. That's where they have the soul master there. Each day I merge there one time. Why? So that I can help the souls. Today did not want to evolve, but the next day they want to evolve. They are able to follow the light to return to deities. and it would clean the environment without the effect of the powerful energy from outer space that influence and threat the Earth. This is the most severe one. The scientists are worried about this. Nobody can help in this situation. And this energy from outer space, wherever it comes, it would cause damage, casualty, material. Just I give you an example in the case of a thunderstorm with the lightning that if it expand to an area, it can damage because of the heat from outer space that enter into the Earth. If it happen, it will draw in that powerful energy. The antenna will neutralize so that everything is normal. At that time, in that region, they would know the significance of the antenna. I'm not advertising. If you want to buy, it is me who decide whether you can buy or not. It's not that I'm advertising. You buy it to protect you, not for me. I do not need any protection. But I have seen the effect. It's not for you or for me, but for the soul, for the country, for the people in that region where you place the antenna. That is the deity who allowed, that is the deity who teach me, and I remind you. That is how I share with you about the antenna. And then, in Vietnam, you want Master Dang to come. I just tell you for real and joke. I said that in the year 2008, most of you want to accompany me to go back to visit the homeland. That after 22 years, I did not return back. Now, if you love me, you want to see me, but for the first time when I come, you only see me on television. I cannot go to the public. You know why? It's not that I'm so strict. Now, just by curiosity, one student take 5 family members. And now in Vietnam, I calculate we have almost 1 million students. So 5 million people and plus 5 million family members. So with millions of people come to see me, then I'll be in jail. In Vietnam, with 80 million and 20 million come to see me, then it would cause a lot of problem with the public. I'll be in a jail cell with only a small window. I can look out to see you, and that would be on the television. So I cannot. How can I go? I'm not like other people. I'm a Vietnamese, very special. When I go back to the homeland, I tell you the truth. If you love me, then if you hear my news, just wait. You see me on television. I do not want to appear north, south, or central, even though I love my country, even though I want to come back to visit my homeland. But I tell you the truth. If I go back to my homeland, to my birthplace, you can see and, that region is very small. With 1,000 people, it will be crowded. The funeral of my mother about 8 years ago, it is so small and it's so crowded. The town that I live, it is so small. In a very remote area, if I return to the homeland, only in my town, in Mỹ Tho, it's not even enough to accommodate all the people, not to mention about people from Hanoi to Cà Mau. If I go there, even the helicopter, it covers all of the airports. So they don't have a place to land. The people in Vietnam, they love me, and in a way, they are hurting me also. So it is so difficult. I see that it's difficult in the recent 5 or 10 years. For my principle, I want, as I go abroad, so I can teach, I have the experience, so I can return back to visit the homeland, and then as my fame is expanding, then I cannot go back. So you can see, there's no other countries that can handle the case of social disorder, including Australia or America. Now let's say I go in Australia with 20 million, let's say 3 million people following me, then they will also arrest me. It would cause insecurity. Nobody would accept this. Any country, any people, they would not accept that. That is one of the difficulties, because the students, they love me, and the people with curiosity, they want to see my face. So that's why it caused problem for me to travel. It's not so easy. Now here you can come to see me 5-7 days, and you see me in person in Australia, or indirectly you are in Holland, in Thailand. But in person right here, if a lot of people who are here so crowded, if I let several thousand of people come here, then it would cause problem with the security for any country, not to mention about in Vietnam. In Vietnam, I know they are all curious. A number of you, the students, who have been waiting for me to return, and a number of your family members, a number of the patients that you had helped, and a number of the people who are curious. You want to see my face in person. That is one of the major problem for me. So if you wish for me to return to visit the homeland, I thank you. But to go from the north to the south, whether it's go by land or by air, I would not be able. So I just try to practice to be able. When I say I travel and you follow me in your soul, in my soul, we go together. The body is still sit there, and we lock the door. Nobody can go in. So it's so difficult. It's very complex. It is difficult for all the people in Vietnam, not just for anyone, and difficult for all the people in the region. They will have also a problem because the people are so curious and because insecurity, and that is not safe. So they have to research properly. If I go back home, the students who follow me, I don't know how many aircraft from 5 continents, because the Vietnamese supposedly because they love they go with me, but the foreigners also. If I go back, many of them, 50,000 of them, they would follow. Then you can see, just with that alone, I'll be in jail. What else? To be in jail is not because they arrest me, because they block me somewhere. So I'm in point A, they say I'm in point B. I tell you, I'm in America. When I was teaching in America, the students, they are curious. And my uncle, sometimes when I come to visit him, when he's sick, I come to visit to treat him. You know why? They just wait. They hear the news and they all come, and I go to the house. They thought it's sure. They tell to wait there. Master Dan just go to visit his uncle, and then when they walk out, then you can greet him. My God, so many people come with all the cars, so I have to go to the back doors, and some people waiting in the front door. I went out the back door, and I wait until at night. They said, "Where's Master Dan?" They said, "The Master Dan left already. He left at the back door." That is in America. I want to show you another story. One of the person who is sick, I come to treat, and then you know what happened? I said that, as you can see, that in a new house with the new furniture, that you tell me to come here to treat. I said that there's no problem. There's no problem. They have the new house, new furniture, and they have the garden with all the flowers. On the first day, only 8 person to come for treatment, and the second day, 15 people. You can see there's no problem. And then the third day 50, and the fourth day 120. And they come, and then many of the children, and they destroy the garden, and they throw all the flower on the couch. I told her already, but she didn't believe. I told them you cannot. But you said that you can accept. So now you have to buy a new furniture. You have to buy a new flower in the garden, and starting from tomorrow, just close your door. And I hide, just for treatment alone. And that lady, a sister of my friend, and you know, my friend, I tell you for sure, you may laugh. He called me and said, "Sister, today me and my and the master would come to, and my master he's eating meat, so do not make any vegetarian." When I see master, I thought it's a monk. So at 5 p.m. I'll come by flight, and then you don't have to worry. My friend will take me and the master. At 4:45, I come. I see that they prepare all the table, and I was so hungry, and I looked back and forth, and she didn't tell me to eat. That is the sister of my friend. After talking, I asked for a glass of water. I was on a flight for several hours. I was hungry. I told my friend, "How come your sister? Who's she waiting for?" I said, "How come you're waiting?" And she said, "You said waiting for the master. When your master come?" And he said, "The master is right here." And she said, "The master." She was thinking of a monk. So I think that the master would have a beard and wearing some robe. So in that way, you can see that's a problem. that is in a strange land. In that way, I'm stuck. So if I go to my country, I want to go home to the homeland, and that's the problem because it is so complex. If I go to Vietnam, if it is free. Now, if I disguise like Santa Claus to go back, I carry with the beard. On the 24th of December, I go back there. But there's a problem that in my visa, the name is Luong Minh ĐÁNG. For those who check the visa, they are my student. Before I go, they announce next week Master Dang will be there. And they said sure. And then in 24 hours, Master Dang would come, and all the people would come to meet me. That I would not dare to come, so it is best not to come. So that is how I'm stuck. I also miss my homeland, but due to the problem with security, it does not allow with the local government. As I go, when I come, it would cause a problem with the case of security. So it would cause problems. I do not want this, and it would cause a problem to the government. For that reason, we wait. We wait until the time when the student that will include you, after you sleep for 72 hours, then I come in silent before I go to the flight, and I say, wake up. And I transfer energy when you wake up, and then I come back, meaning going back to Australia. So that is only a joke I share with you, but in fact, by great fortune, then for sure I will be able to come back for a short time to visit the homeland, to visit all the EV students, and with a chance, depending on the situation, that perhaps in that area, how they arrange, whoever I can see, what I can do, that will be in the future, in the next few months. One more person in Thailand, then third question in Thailand. First of all, I would like to thank you for this. It seemed like her sound disconnected. Until now, I was able to learn a lot of valuable lessons about universal energy and about Mel that can be applied in human life in level 16 in Bangkok. You have taught us the technique to travel to space. The result from the practice of traveling to space, when we apply it in our human life, we have seen a lot of valuable effect that cannot be described through words. I would like to thank you for giving us this technique. I'm very fortunate and happy when the students who come to learn late, only in a year or 2 years, they are able to learn through the level 18. These are the students in Vietnam. When they practice to travel to space, we were able to take the photograph that to see their body had transformed into energy. I will send to you through the email, so you can see these photographs, so that you can teach the students in the future about the practice of traveling to space. From the first day until now, in my mind, as well as the group who are practicing after the end of the class, we have some doubts. And now you have cleared all of our doubts. But for me, I would like to ask you clearer about some of the situation, so when we come back to our country, we can apply to follow your teaching. In this class, you had reminded us that all of us, 1,541 of us, we in here, we have the responsibility and the application to use differently, depending on each of our body and soul. But you had reminded us in general that our mission is, in this class, is to protect Earth and to help the progress of evolution of the humankind. So, for the UE student, we need to apply the technique to practice, like from the level 1 up to level 20. We have to learn to clear our ego, our selfishness, and others. Through this class, you taught us to continue on our journey to help mankind. So in this journey to apply universal energy, there is a divine energy, an invisible power that is very powerful, that can solve all of the difficulties, including the problem in our mind, also to solve the material problem in our daily lives. So this is the energy that link between, as the word I explained, that is faith and love, as well as the sacrifice. Can you explain further for us about this? Even though we are different, but on the journey to help mankind to return back to the real evolution in order to have wisdom enlightenment, I feel that perhaps we need to learn more about this. So can you guide us more about that? And one more thing that I want to ask you, in the journey as I apply UE to help the soul to evolve, there are times that I do not understand the law in the spiritual world. So can you explain to us more about this so that we are able to apply when we return home? Thank you, Master. And I would like to send my greeting to all of the UE students all over the world. Now let me explain for you through the journey that after 19 souls that gone through to you, now this one here will be permanent. After 19 changes of the soul, this 19 soul would change your body, right, wrong, sadness, happiness, so that you are able to clear all of them. There's only one, so that you can return to nothingness. In that way, 1,541 of you, how come I don't say 10, 15%, but I say 1 to 3%? That is, I wish that you are able to achieve all of you, so that you are able to meet the demands to help your family, furthermore the communities in the world. With everything that you have already solved, with the remaining one, the final one, for the past few days as I guided you, that is the soul, with wisdom enlightenment for many lifetimes. But there's only one small thing that they want to clear by using our body to teach our body, so that we never be selfish or hang on to power or position. With power, all of this soul, they merge with us, then they are able to help us. And these are the 2 points, the most important one, that this new soul will help us, so we'll never think about them, but we have everything inside, behind the curtain, in order to help outside. Do not think that in the level 20 you have the power, then you have the high position, can be the king and the queen, or you have a high position here and this, all of that are in the human world. You are in the human world, but your soul can help your body that is in the dark to change the environment, to help the light, so that the people out in the light, they can have true peace and prosperity. That is the mission for us. If intentionally or unintentionally you are tied on power, then you would lose everything. Power that is behind the curtain, not outside. You just remember one sentence I mentioned to you. If you want to have everything to help others, and if you want the soul with the ability, the soul with wisdom and enlightenment to help all of us in that point, that is for all of you in this level 20. Erase all the past. The past here meaning from before you come to this level, to the past. the important part, that your soul had guided you to come here to learn the level 20. That is by great fortune. For sure, this soul is not bad because it is capable to guide your body to come here to learn the level 20 so that you can go on to the higher soul with wisdom and enlightenment to come with wisdom to help the humankind. And that is your body has been chosen. Do not worry. When God has chosen your body, then God given to who do you know? In the nearest, Master Dang, and next the and mankind ancestor and the unknown soldier. The unknown soldiers will merge with you. This unknown soldier that are the one with wisdom and enlightenment. It's not that they just die in a war. They don't have any ability. Listen carefully. But we mentioned about the unknown soldier. Those are who sacrifice for the humankind through the journey that they had contributed for mankind. That is how I explained to you clearly. So you do not confuse about the spiritual world. Regarding your physical body, they have the capacity. They take care of it. They take care of it. They are with you 24 hours a day. I'm talking about this unknown soldier with the capacity. They take care of your body. With the remaining one, do you listen to them or not? To have wisdom enlightenment. And wisdom enlightenment from this meaning that you don't have selfishness, don't have power struggle. That's all. I remind you on these two subjects. First, selfishness. Second, power. With power you can clear so easily. But selfishness, slowly you are able to get rid of it, to avoid it. When you think about selfishness, you remember that Master Dang had just reminded you. Not just for Master Dang, not for you, but for your family. I just want to elaborate for you in terms of the selfishness. You love everyone. I give you the lesson already. I also give the lesson from Master Dang and the family Master Dang. I'm just like all of you. I love my family, I love my friends, I love my brother and sister and neighbors. I love the charity, the church, the temple. I love all of these organizations. I had love through the journey for many years, not just now. But then, by the destiny, as the higher soul comes to you, they see, they control you. This unknown soul that have never been on this earth, they are controlling the body of Master LeuNG Minh ĐÁNG. But for Master Dang, it's not that I do not like money, but to Master Dang, I tell you the truth. Money I also like, but with a lot of money, I share a lot. When I was poor, when I don't have money, meaning when I don't have money. At night, I couldn't sleep when I was in Vietnam, especially near the New Year. I think those who are so poor, at that time when TRONG was very little, riding bicycle. Both of us, we ride bicycles. Not much. We just give several kilograms of rice to this poor. When at that time, when I exchange the money, for those who are poor, I give 30. For those who are very poor, I give 30. For those who are a little better, I give 20 with the kilogram of rice, so that they can have the ritual memorial to worship the ancestor. I was poor and they are poorer. So, in a way, I was able to cover for those. I'm poor and cover it for those who are poorer. So I help them within my capacity. I help. I have 250 with the money. Whoever can be as brave as me, my friend, very close friend. He has a wife with 5 children who were so poor, and I also was poor. With 250, he borrowed 200 to start to do business. I was very brave. With 250, I gave him 200. At that time, I was very brave. Perhaps somebody possessed me, Master Dang. I also like money, but somebody possessed me, just to give the money away. And then he said, with 50, then what can I do with 50? At that time, after exchanging money, with only 250, I gave him 200. I just want to explain to you like that. In fact, I want to have the material means, but to the Master Dang, the material means is to help all the people who are linked to me by faith. But then, in a journey, as I have so much, now it's not that I'm discouraged, I feel tired. The soul said that now you have enough. Now, when it is enough, when it's give, until now, they tell me to stop, not to give. But my body, I also hide behind them and to still give. They tell me to stop. I receive a message. They tell me to stop to giving. But my body, I'm so used to it. I give money. If I don't give money, I feel sad. So in hiding, I give them in hiding. It's just like hiding my wife and give it to my girlfriend. Luckily, if I give to the girlfriend, the invisible girlfriend, if I give to the physical girlfriend, now I might die. This is only a joke. Teresa is not jealous. She just feels a little sad, not jealous. Because you asked about the spiritual world, I explained to you about the spiritual world. However, if you're in level 20, I show you the experience. Listen carefully. Everything, the deities, they control you. If you want to take this, I tell you not to take this and take the others. And do not be surprised. And those in your family, they will be surprised, whatever they do, because they do not know. Just leave them. We do not have to argue or explain to them. Because no matter how you explain, they do not listen. Everything they thought is right and you say wrong. Something that they say wrong and you say right. So do not try to argue. Just leave it be. You need to remember, they know one way, you know one way. Do not try to argue with them. There is no purpose. I advise for you on that point. On Sunday you will see this. This Sunday you encounter this. Why? So you have experience. And then with everything that I teach you, it will appear for you to see, so you know. That is our knowledge with the new soul. That is the one with wisdom. The time of wisdom come to you. They have wisdom, they have enlightenment. Now they give you that wisdom. If you don't want to have wisdom, that is your own fault. I know. Even if you don't want to, you will have the wisdom because you have come to level 20 already. After 4 days of learning, today is the 5th day. And you learn 4 days enough, but I tell you to come to learn for 6 days, so I can teach you some more extra about the spiritual world, to help reviving the dead, to help the soul of your family members with the high levels to borrow the body of another to merge. I will teach you later after this question. The student from Vietnam who come to Thailand to ask about the spiritual world. In the spiritual world, these are the soul. From the level 20 to the future, the soul, I do not want to say they are low, but the soul in the spiritual world at the present time, your new soul knows all of them already. And when your soul and your body receive this new soul, all of those, they know you already. So they will support you. It doesn't mean they cause problem, chaos to you like in the past. Additionally, all of those placed with the antenna, when you visualize the big antenna, that will be my soul. 24 hours was there, the soul master Dan, to solve every situation. That is how I share with you about the spiritual world. There will be changes to prepare the changes for the new humans, the new world, the new material, and you have the infinite gift that the deity had given to you. There's nothing that you can buy and sell this. That is how I share in general for you about the spiritual world, the change in life. And one more time, with all more than 1,500 of you, the new soul will merge with you to help all over the world. Listen carefully. Because you want to ask about the spiritual world, now I show you. That is, we remember on the second day, I say from now to the future, after the end of the level 20, you will see a lot of things that are more straightforward, not in conflict. In the past, you have opposition, maybe 8 and then 2 straightforward. Now it is changed in reverse. In fact, before I teach you, I didn't know about this program. When I come on the first and second day, then I know the program that the deities had taught us about the soul with wisdom enlightenment who come and merge with all of us, so that they can help our human race, the large Iwi family, in order to contribute to help mankind. That is how I explain for you about the spiritual world, so that we are preparing to receive in order to carry out, to help the material, the human body, to help the soul who are close to us that need our help. We are ready to help them unconditionally with more result. That is the last answer I gave to you to the question from a student in Vietnam who asked about the spiritual world. You have read the book about the spiritual world. Is there any book that describe like I just give you in the lecture? No, because they do not learn, they do not know the spiritual world. All the books from the past until now, they never I teach that the same like them. It is better because my teaching is unique. It's never been copied. Unique products. I'm learning some of the Vietnamese when I go back home because they change a lot of the vocabulary. So now, that was the 10 person who asked questions from Australia, Holland, and Thailand. So now you prepare to take notes. I'm prepared to teach you now. Now let me explain for you. If any country, the body of a dead person, and I tell you clearly, the body of your family members, you help them first. If they have a sudden death, meaning, for example, suddenly they have a cardiac arrest and die. If the person is young and healthy, my point, if the person, the body is able, then you try to keep them for 12 hours. If they kept in the cold room, instead of in a freezer, you keep outside the cold room. Do not put in the in the freezer. If they kept in the freezer, then you cannot do anything. When you to help the dead body, you kept in. For example, let's say that this is a cold room. They have they divide to some of the boxes to keep. Do not let them put in the cold room. So after every hour, 30 minutes, you transfer energy. Who knows? After 5-7 hours later, the person is revived and you're able to help. So listen carefully. Every 30 minutes, you merge 3 times every 30 minutes. Listen carefully. 3 times you merge that person. 3 times to the person, 3 times to the heart of the person, so that the soul can return back. So in summary, every 30 minutes you merge 6 times. 3 times for the whole body and 3 times to the heart of the person. Remember that. Before you merge to the heart of the person to see the heart is on the right or on the left. If you do it on the wrong side, the person is still dying. I know some of my students, the heart is on the right. There are some people, very rare, but there are some. You need to understand clearly, because the heart is on the right, you keep on merging to the left and then you will fail. So that is the first case you are able to save. Only in 12 hours. And eventually to save your family members. That is on the first case. On the second, your children or meaning your children or grandchildren, when they have the capability, when they grow up, they are experts in any field, or they have talent. If they have an accident, if suddenly they have an accident, they are young, 20, 30 years old, and they have an accident, and they died. There's no way to save, meaning if an accident, there's no way to save. For example, the body is totally damaged. There's no way to save them. You do not have the ability to save those who really die with the body is completely damaged. We can only save those who have the cardiac arrest or sudden death. So, with the children and grandchildren, with their talent and their broad knowledge, if they have a sudden death, then you can choose any person. Whether let's say right now they are 25 years old, you can choose a person 40 or 50 years old, and that person needs to be healthy, so to serve, to help people. Then all you need is to pray, my soul to merge with you 3 times, and you merge to the other person. the other person. You merge to the person that you want to borrow the body. You merge to that person. That soul will go to the light. Then you send the soul of your dead children or grandchildren 3 times the soul of that loved one who died. Then you merge to the body of this dead person. The moment you merge to the dead person, this soul will go directly to the new body. 3 times to that person, that soul will go 3 times to the dead body, so that the soul from this dead body, when you merge, this soul follow you to go directly to the new body. Then from then on, that person, you know that person has the soul of your loved one who died. Then you ask, they will tell you, only you who knows. People would not know, but you know when you talk to that person. Because this is the soul from this person, that person. You let that soul merge to the new body. And that is how you can help that person in any situation. That body would know you. In the past, let's say you hate that person, or you do not do dislike that person. Suddenly now that person see you, they feel with you, or you see that person, you feel, but you know. That person do not know. The body of that person do not know. The body of that person has a new soul, they do not know. And suddenly, that family, they said, how come that uncle in the past you do not like, and now suddenly you like your uncle, for example. But they said, how come in the past you do not like your uncle, but now suddenly you love your uncle more than your parents? So these are the signs. Then you see the change of their personality. Then for sure, that soul, as you pray, the soul had gone to the light, and you bring the soul of this body to come to merge to the new body. You will see, you have the chance to do this. And it's you who knows the body in the past. They never be close to you or feel with you, but now suddenly they feel with you and love you more, and that is a soul that you send, and the soul of that person return to the light and to go on to another body. Just like for us, we are changing many souls, and for sure the soul of this child, when you send in, and that soul is highly capable, it can help that body, and that body is maybe very dumb, or you have to choose the body in that way. You know the significance. If that person is an expert and you go into a person who is higher, then it's not. You have to choose. Let's say your children is highly capable. You choose the other one that are lower. I have some of my family members who are dumb. Then when they merge in, suddenly they are smart. That is how I share with you. So you have this experience. Otherwise, you said, how do you know the result? You know, because that person is dumb. And suddenly he's highly capable. It is your family members, they are highly talented. Then you can prove a person is dumb and become one with talent or intelligent. But remember, my God, I forgot, you need to take note also. The man who send to the man, the woman send to the woman. Do not send a woman to the man and he would change his personality. It will be cause a problem. So the man, you merge to the man, woman merging to the woman. If the woman merging to the man, and then or the woman, or a man merging to the woman, it will cause a problem too. So this is important. So you need to take note also. Now I want to share with you these 2 points. In parallel to that, you had you said the technique for opening chakra in Holland, in Thailand. Did you give the handout? You have the handout. Now we have some time. Let me explain for you. So later on, after the break, when you come in, you can ask, especially about opening chakras. A number of you have a problem with the opening chakras. I understand. Some of you are afraid that sitting to open chakra you may fall. So I say that you have to sit. I tell you to sit on the chair. Some of the students in here, they said that when open chakra, I sit on the chair, afraid to fall down. So I sit on the floor. It's better even if I fall. Sometimes sit on the floor and then against the wall. So I love my students for their sincerity. So you're in the level 20. You listen carefully. You can sit in any position. You don't have to sit in a lotus posture when I sit to transfer energy for you in level 19, because your new soul in the level 20 You already have the wisdom and enlightenment already. My soul, far away, I update for you in this level 20 for the new soul. So this new soul would guide you. You can be relaxed. In front of all the people, you tell them to place their hand on chakra 6 and 7. You just close your eyes for a maximum of 30 seconds. Remember, you merge to the chakra 6, 1, 2, 3 before you open chakras. You merge with me first, 1, 2, 3, no more than 30 seconds. And in that 30 seconds, or maybe less than 30 seconds, then you are opening chakra, and you, for them, you tell them to remain silent. Then you merge to all of them so that they have the ability to spin the chakras from the chakra 2 to chakra 7. And that's all you do. Now your body is a new soul to protect your body. So the powerful energy from my soul combined with your body and your soul, you do not have the problem that the powerful energy, even with that powerful energy, your soul will protect your body so that you can open chakra to help all the people without any problem. In the level 19, in fact, in the level 19, I allow you to open chakras. A number of you could not handle it. You are afraid of it. And really, you are afraid because you cannot handle it. The energy is so powerful comparing to your energy. For that reason, when I taught the level 19, I told you you need to sit very sturdy so that to avoid a situation, the energy is so powerful that may cause you to fall. And when you fall, you lose the energy. For that reason, I explained to you carefully about the technique to open chakra 100% and to transfer energy level 4. So now, for all of us in the level 20, for the past few days, I had explained to you as the soul with wisdom and enlightenment who merged to your body to help your body to do many things, especially to help you to open chakra and transfer energy to level 4 to all the people, so you don't have to worry about the case that you have to sit very sturdy, or you can sit on the floor. You can sit in the relaxed position, not to be in the lotus position. A number of you show respect. You think that you are receiving the powerful energy from God, so that's why you sit in a lotus posture. Now it's not necessary. You sit just like me. And then you just close your eyes, you transfer energy. You listen carefully. So now I have taught you all the formulas for level 3, level 4. So now you can rest assured, you don't have to worry. And now it's not that we are practicing, but now with everything that I have taught you to open chakras, to transfer energy level 4, now you can rest assured to remain silent, so I can close my eye, transfer energy, so that I'm talking about this. I'll let you ask question later. So now all of you, now you had heard the lecture. As you hear my explanation, now you get ready. This is the energy from me, from my soul to merge with you. First, so you can open chakras. Second, tomorrow before the end of the class, you will receive a new soul, so that you are able to achieve as the new soul will help you, including when you are in level 19 in the past. I allow you to open chakras. Now this time, as you are in level 20 to open chakras, you are more fortunate than those who are in level 19. So this time, I transfer energy to all of you and merge with all of you one more time. This time, so you can receive my soul in the future, so you can open chakra and transfer energy level 4 for all the people. So now, you call everybody to come in to sit in. Everybody have to sit in a saddle, so I can transfer energy for you. Everybody close your eyes. I transfer energy. I merge with you. You have to close your eyes. Now I'm merging with you so that you can receive my soul, so that you can open chakras. Everybody just sit. In Thailand and Holland, are you all ready? Everybody need to sit down, get ready.
Holland is ready.
So now begin. Now it is finished. Now you take note, this is very important. When I merge with all of you in 3 locations, for those of you in the level 20, I received the message. I want to give you a good news. Listen carefully to take notes. This is the good news for all of you in this level 20 that I never even think of. Even for me, for the first time when I taught you on the 20th of July since 1989, the first level 1 in San Diego, California, in America, that was 18 years ago. For the first time, each day when I open chakras, on the first day I open chakra 6 and 7. Perhaps Mr. Long remember this. If not, I remind you. That was the technique to open chakras. That was 18 years ago. But then this time, I give you one of the good news. All of you in this level 20, in Holland, in Thailand, in Australia, you would teach, if you can teach in the future, and you will teach very easily. You can teach level 1, 2 theory, teach level 3 theory, you open chakra 100%. You don't need to open chakra 30-60%. Listen carefully. This is only for those of you in the level 20, whether the children or the adults. You teach them the theory so they know the techniques. You only need to close your eyes and pray for my soul to merge to the chakra 6 of those students who are learning the level 3 times. Then you can have open chakra 100% without opening chakra 30-60%. You need to teach them the theory. Except your children, 8 years, you don't have to teach them. You open chakra 100% for them. That is your own children and grandchildren. I give you have a lot of priority. I could not even believe this. In the past, I taught a lot. I opened chakra by hand, and later on open chakra from a distance. So this time, for GMT, you don't have to ask. Now, it's better for you. You don't have to ask. So now, all of you need to take notes, and perhaps after the class, I would resume and I will have the summary notes with everything. then we'll send to you. However, a number of you who are in the level 19 in the past, that I open chakras. Now you are in the level 20, then you don't have to open chakra 30 to 60%. For those of you in the level 19, who do not learn the level 20, then you have to follow the old ways to open chakra 30 and 60, then open chakra 100%. For you, you don't have to open the chakra for 30, 60. Now for you, it is better without that. So now with that good news, now we'll take a break and we'll resume back later. I transfer energy and work with you now. We'll take a break and then you can discuss later about this.